Hello, and welcome to Accenture's Digital Insurance podcast series featuring Mark McDonald, a managing director with Accenture's management consulting business. Mark joins us to discuss the journey of digital transformation. Mark, thanks for being here for your third and final podcast with a focus around defining a digital business strategy for insurance.
Oh, thank you. It's really great to be here.
Mark, let's get right into our topic today, the future of the digital insurer. Can you tell us about the key dimensions for consideration?
I think there's two very important dimensions, maybe three important dimensions to consider for the future of the digital insurer. First off is we should definitely make extensive use and leveraging off of the Accenture digital insurer vision and roadmap. And so that notion and the way that's described is a series of progressions of interaction channels, starting with standalone interaction channels to connected to agents, to interactive with customers, to multi-channel, and then finally to digital, and recognizing how those things support execution agility, simplicity, and customer centricity become absolutely essential. And those transitions of interaction channels and operating model perspectives really help us understand that it's not just important to do the business right, but it's also important to be continually innovating and transforming that customer experience, because otherwise insurance just becomes another commodity. And you're already seeing that going on in the United Kingdom, in Australia, and to some extent in the U.S., where insurance, particularly automobile insurance, is just becoming something you buy on a regular basis. Now, deepening that experience, focusing that experience, expanding the value proposition associated with it is essential for organizations to be able to retain not only their competitive advantage, but also their competitive margins. And I think one of the other dimensions we need to think about is the dimension associated with what does a digital insurer want to be when they grow up.
With those dimensions in mind, what are the basic positions that a digital insurer can occupy within the customer lifecycle?
One is they can become part of the fabric of a customer's financial life. And in that regard, insurance then becomes one of the set of products that customers put together and configure. And in that regard, there's some aggregator that an insurance company is actually the infrastructure for that aggregator. So that's kind of the indirect model, if you will. But there's also a tremendous opportunity for insurers to come over the top of themselves in terms of offering new products, new services, new combinations in new marketplaces and arenas. And one example of that is USAA's auto buying program, where USAA offers its members the ability to basically tell them how much do you want to pay per month and what kind of car do you want. And USAA negotiates the all-in-one price from car acquisition to financing to as well as automobile insurance. And that represents an opportunity where you come over the top of the normal business model to be able to do something innovative, create broader experiences, and grow your market. And then finally, I think the last piece associated with it is that most insurance companies, most insurers are product-centric, internally focused, concentrating on product and market segments that basically reflect their organizational structures. And getting to a more agile, more services-oriented, more adaptable business model and operating model, because this environment is going to do only one thing, which is change, becomes an essential element as well to getting there.
Mark, can you give us your final thoughts around the digital transformation roadmap and how it differs from other transformational opportunities?
Unlike prior transformational opportunities that were generated inside the company, this transformation opportunity starts with the proposition of growth. It starts with an external proposition around changing and transforming the customer experiences in ways that support growth, that support retention, that support customers deepening their product relationships. From there, that focus on growth, that outside-in view, turns then to my product set, to my organizational set, my customer experience. And then it turns internally into my operating model, the transformation, the systems consolidations, et cetera, that we need to do. It's not just enough to make yourself marginally more efficient by digitizing or turning atoms into bits and digitizing what I have right now. Organizations that are going to be successful in the future, we're going to be following the path that's laid out in the digital insurer point of view and making that migration from just providing products that meet customer needs to providing services and experiences that generate an ongoing and ever-expanding relationship. And I think that's really that roadmap that's important. Start from the outside in, recognize how this all transforms the interface or the interaction, if you will, between you, your customers, and the rest of your ecosystem. And then finally and very quickly recognize that those external forces are going to generate internal changes to the operating model.
Mark, thank you for taking the time to be here today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thanks for tuning into this edition of Accenture's Digital Insurance Podcast Series. You've been listening to Mark McDonald, a managing director within Accenture's management consulting business. For more information on services and solutions for insurers, visit accenture.com/insurance.